Oh, you're going to ask me something about politics, right?
No, I'd like to ask you something stupid first, but
Okay.
I'm not going to do that this time. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Killer whale,
Why?
because it's my favourite animal.
Do you just hate seals or something?
I like how they play with their food and then they eat them.
Do you work many children's parties or?
I have in the past.
Right, let's talk fighting. That's why we're here. How do you feel about your last fight? Because I feel like this guy's just walking in the back of our interview now. That's fine, though.
Man, this guy is like causing so much trouble here. That's like, there's going to be a line to interview and kick his ass. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about him, but I guess people would rather. How do you feel about your last fight? Do you feel like, because I actually had you winning the fight. What was your takeaways of it?
Yeah, like everyone else, apart from Caitlin in our team, and of course the judges, although maybe they scored it to me instead. They just got our names mixed up, right?
It's possible. I mean, anything could happen. Moving on from that fight, do you have to just sort of suck it up and think, right, it's on to the next one, just train properly and just get back into it? Or do you have to take some time off and think, just give yourself a break, you know?
Yeah, I took a few days off. I think that whole week in Chicago I was like frustrated and upset and all the emotions that are normal to come with a loss. But yeah, you as fighters, losses come and hardships come, so you just have to pick yourself up and go on. And within that month I had got another fight, and like on this card is like amazing, and to be a few months after I just fought, so I see it as a good thing.
What's it like being a woman competing in Abu Dhabi or making history?
Yeah, I'm very proud and grateful to be here and to be one of the female fighters to kind of show how we do it.
Because they're obviously pushing you as part of that. There he is again. They're obviously pushing you as part of that because they had you do the open workouts and stuff like that. So they obviously want you to be a sort of a figurehead for women going forward, right? So that must be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I was like, what? They want me to do it? Like, there's a little bit of pressure and I was feeling a little bit of nerves, but I loved it, and I was so grateful to. Obviously, I'll remember that for the rest of my days, so it's a nice memory to have.
Moving on to this Saturday, you're fighting Andrea Lee. First of all, the question everyone wants to know, what do you think of her hat?
What hat?
She had a cowboy hat on.
Really? I'm joking, it's massive. It's nearly touching me in the forehead.
Should have worn like a white one back so it would look like, you know.
Well, I kind of wanted to get John, my coach, also my man, to go down as a horse and like get a cowboy hat and like. But obviously that's maybe a little bit disrespectful.
It is quite funny though, so maybe for the ceremonial weigh-ins, please have him as a horse.
Yeah, and it's more to make fun of him, right? No, nice hat.
Good.
It's cool, yeah.
And as a fighter, what do you think of her? And how do you see the fight itself going on Saturday? Because I think you're both in this position where the division's kind of still finding its way a little bit. So a win here could just put that Caitlin loss spin behind you and move forward. Do you agree?
Yeah, especially like in the UFC, you know, our jobs, we kind of get sidetracked a little bit on the whole title fight and all that, but in rankings and stuff. But if you think about it, if you go out there and like starch someone, you're their favourite fighter and next in line. So our jobs is to go out there and put on that performance and wait for the call.
So is that, you know, you said yesterday at the open workouts you're going to get the finish or the victory, judges, submission, whatever it takes. But is there something inside you like, I want to put that last one behind me and really like put on a show here on Saturday and starch Andrea Lee, as you just said?
Yeah, I just feel like this camp I'm better than the last camp, and each camp I'm getting better and better, and I just feel that's fueling my confidence, and yeah, I'm just going to go in there and just do whatever it takes.
And last one, I know that you're like a freak who doesn't turn your air conditioning on in Vegas, but Abu Dhabi is like way too hot, right?
Yeah, but their AC isn't quite as good as in Vegas. and I don't have control over it, so I'm sitting there with the AC on, but it's not as good as the ones.
So you're only just lightly toasted instead of how you like to be in Vegas, which is like baking.
Yeah, I mean this week and today is especially important for that to sweat. So it's always a little helping hand.